Hi everyone, so today I thought we could paint another minimalist landscape. We're going to use a little bit more detail than the previous paintings, and I always find it useful to swatch out the colours beforehand just to check the colour harmony, the composition, and then do a very small mini painting just to have another look, just to make sure. So here's me in my little setup, so painting the mini painting. And today we're going to be using three colours: Payne's Grey, Quinacridone Lilac and some sap green. And we're going to use the Payne's Grey to darken up some of those other colours for the limited palette. So just using two brushes, I'm starting off with my medium-sized flat brush and I'm adding a touch of the lilac to some Payne's Grey. It's giving us a really dark, rich purple that almost looks black. Now, using this rich mixture, I'm going to add quite a bold line. It's okay if it's wavy and it's broken, that just adds a little bit of interest. And I'm going to go over it quite a few times just to make sure that it's very liquid, and that when we add our water across the top, we're going to get a nice bit of bleeding and flow above into the sky area. Then taking my large 3/4 inch flat brush, I'm just taking some clean water and I'm going to run that across the top of our line, and as you can see it starts to flow up and bleed quite nicely. And then we're going to start going in with our lilac. So this is a really nice bright pink, almost like a fuchsia colour. I really like it. I mean, I think I say that by quite a lot of my bright paints. But again, the lilac, this is great. It's a Daniel Smith brand. And I'm just using my brush to smooth it out. And slowly, as I work my way up the sky area, I'm just going to make it lighter. So dabbing off a bit more of the paint each time, until eventually we're just using clean water so that it blends up nicely and there isn't any hard lines. So the paper I'm using is Arches. Now it is actually the £300 paper, and it's rough, so it can take an awful lot of water and there won't be any buckling of the paper. So it is great for these kind of abstracts where you're using not an awful lot of paint or brush strokes, but you are using quite a lot of water. So that's our sky done. And then we're going to start putting in a bit of detail in the foreground. So we're going to move back to the medium-sized flat brush, and taking our sap green, we're going to add just a touch of the Payne's Grey to it. Not very much, but just a tiny bit to, I mean, it is quite a vibrant green, sap green. It's very bright, and we want it to be a little bit more muted. So we're just going to run this in a thin line across the centre of the painting. And this will hopefully give us the suggestion of some kind of landmass, almost like a wetland scene. So just thickening up that paint, making it a bit richer, adding a touch more Payne's Grey. And then we're going to see if we can get some nice flow down below this time. So taking my 3/4 inch again, clean water, and just running it along underneath. I love the effect it gives when you just add water and the watercolour paint flows down through it, because you can't replicate that by using brush strokes. It just naturally flows down, and I think it just looks lovely. So we're going to try and replicate the sky area but underneath, so it gives that illusion of some kind of wetland sort of water area. And again, using the lilac, a bit more water this time to make it a bit paler, and just the same as the sky. Now I'm just going to dampen down the white paper in the centre of the painting, I've got a little bit of lilac on my brush, and I think there's still a touch of green from previously, so it's given us quite a muted colour, which is great because it's taken the edge off the bright white in the centre. Now while that's wet, I'm just going to drop some other colours into it in order to give us some tiny blooms, and hopefully this will give us the suggestion of some reeds or excuse me, like a little marshland in the centre. So I've got some Payne's grey with a tiny bit of lilac, and I've just dropped it in with the top of my flat brush. It's quite watery, so it's quite light, so I'm taking a slightly thicker mixture and then also just dabbing that in. And that just gives us quite a nice little detail in the centre, but without being too fussy, so still keeping it minimalist, quite abstract. It's more up to the viewer to decide what it is that they're looking at. And then I think that's about it. I think that's the painting finished. So I hope you enjoyed that. There's a close-up of the painting. Excuse my nail varnish, I've got pandas on my thumbs. We went camping and my daughter wanted to put pandas on my fingernails, but never mind. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to see any more, then please like and subscribe to the channel. And thank you ever so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to have you.